Hello and welcome to Real Talkin' Fiction, the podcast where storytelling meets raw, unfiltered conversations. I'm Eddie Bowers, or Edward Bowers, as some of you guys might know me from my books. I'm here to explore the stories we tell, both real and imagined. From deep dives into some of life's tougher questions to thrilling fiction that I write. So hopefully that's going to keep you guys on edge. We're going to try and cover it all here. So sit back, hit that follow button, and let's dive in.
Where I'm at most days. Welcome to the mess of my mind, or the podcast Real Talkin' Fiction, whichever way you want to look at it. I'm your host, Eddie Bowers. And if that sounds familiar, cliche statement here, you're not alone, okay? But listen, today we're talking about what happens, when you hit those really rough patches. And the advice people give that, it isn't exactly helpful. You ever just sit there and wonder, is happiness even possible? Like, really possible? Or is it just one of those things that people pretend to have? I wonder this. I'm 46 years old. I'm single. And no, this is not a dating app. So, I'm just saying. I also deal with having MS, And some days, I feel like I'm just going through the motions. And if you're listening to this, maybe you feel the same way. Maybe you're tired. Maybe you've stopped believing that happiness is even in the cards for you. But let's talk about it honestly. And since I have no idea what I'm doing here, I'm going to try to mix in a few things, some little bit of sarcasm maybe. Try to make this funny a little bit. And I'm probably going to end up talking about some bad advice. So, why not? Because, here's the thing. I used to think happiness was this thing you got after checking all the right boxes. The whole life formula that we used to get taught. Get a job that pays well. Find the person who makes you feel alive. Have the house, the car, vacations. Get to a point where things finally feel settled. Sounds nice. But here's what they don't tell you. There doesn't seem to be any settled. Somewhere along the way, stuff, crap, garbage, life, things happen. You lose people, you lose relationships. Heck, sometimes you even lose yourself, if we're being honest. And suddenly, happiness feels like it belongs to other people. Like you missed your turn, and now you're stuck. Like on some back road that just loops around the same tired scenery. Maybe, I don't know, maybe you feel that way right now while listening. Maybe you've convinced yourself that happiness is something you just weren't built for. But here's the truth. That's a lie. Alright? So in my desperate search for happiness, I've tried some, let's say, questionable methods. So let's go over a few, shall we? The old just go outside. Yes. Let me just step outside into the bright, judgmental day and magically be cured at 46 years of age. carrying a bunch of emotional baggage. That'll do it. And then there's, think positive thoughts. Oh, so you mean to tell me that all I had to do was just decide not to be miserable? Wow. Can't believe I didn't think of that sooner. Let me just go in and rewire my entire brain really quick. I'll be right back. This one, it's I struggle a little bit with this one as an ex-personal trainer and pseudo nutritionist, dietary specialist type person. It's eat better, because let's be real. Clearly, my problem isn't deep-seated trauma or anything. It's bread. It's got to be gluten. If I just swapped my sadness for kale, everything in the world would be fine. My favorite, though, is the people who they think they're helping, and bless them, they're doing their best, but just find you're happy? Really? The classic, you just have to find you're happy, Eddie. Like it's hiding under a couch cushion or something. I put it down with my keys and lost it. If only life were that simple, right? If I just put on a happy face and search for it, then suddenly everything's rainbows and unicorns. Who needs therapy? When you've got this positive attitude and a shiny new outlook on life. Spoiler alert here. I have yet to find happiness in the couch cushions. Now, I will say, I found some breadcrumbs. So there's that. I found a couple of Matchbox cars. I think some Legos. None of these really truly work. It becomes daunting, but hey, at least I got a decent walk in before realizing I get sunburned real easy. I'm kind of pale. So, again, there's that. Now, like I'd mentioned earlier, I've got multiple sclerosis, and it loves depression. So, I want to say they're about to get married. It's like this storm that is inside of me, and it's not controllable, but it's just part of my life. It's okay. I'm still here. But there's the part that people don't talk about enough, I think. The way depression changes when you're living with multiple sclerosis. Now, depression on its own, it's already a pain in the butt. But then you add multiple sclerosis or MS. Those are the same things. Just multiple sclerosis is a lot of words. Or syllables. Or letters. Whatever. MS is quicker. But you add in the MS. And it's like playing life on expert mode while your controller is like glitching or something. I mean, you got the exhaustion, right? That's not just being tired, okay? It's like your body is a phone permanently stuck on 5%. Nobody's got time for that. And then, brain fog. That's something I deal with. Brain fog. Have you ever tried remembering like a conversation, while your mind feels like it's a YouTube video buffering? And the best part, I love this. People telling me, well, you don't look sick. Oh, my bad, yo. I'm sorry. Should I be crawling around like a horror movie demon just to prove I feel like garbage sometimes? I didn't know that was in the rule book. It's a fun mix. Just a real joy. Now let's talk about the helpful things people say when you mention like being depressed or something. And by helpful, Honestly, I mean rage-inducing. Things like, "Ah, just cheer up." Oh, wow. Is that all? I mean, let me just flip my happiness switch real quick. Then I love hearing, well, other people have it worse. Or when people try to, point out their problems in their life and make it sound worse than yours. It's kind of like, yes. Just because I know someone else is miserable too, that totally fixes my problems. I mean, I broke my ribs and you stubbed your toe. What? I feel all warm and fuzzy inside now. And then, God bless, I love my more hippie friends and things like that, and they'll say, "Have you ever tried meditating?" Listen, just real quick. If sitting in silence with my own thoughts was the solution, I wouldn't be depressed in the first place. That's like one of the problems. Getting in my own head, it's a dangerous place. But seriously, if you don't know what to say to someone struggling with, say, depression or anxiety or whatever, just say, here's the key, people. Here's one of the magic phrases. Are you ready? Just say, "That sucks. That really sucks. But I'm here for you." That's it. Then stop saying things after you say that. So let's say that again. Repeat after me. "That sucks. I'm here for you." And then be there for them. How that looks, it's going to be different for everybody, but be there for them. That does a lot of good. A lot of good. I'm not going to sit here and give you some wake up early and write in your gratitude journal type speech. But I will tell you what I've learned. And writing does help. Maybe I'm not going to totally dump on the journal. Journaling has helped me in the past. Writing currently helps me. My books, my poetry, blah, blah, blah. But happiness isn't about the big moments. All right? It also includes the small moments. It's like, for me, it's drinking a cup of coffee, in silence before the world wakes up. It's laughing at like a stupid meme that nobody should be laughing at. It really shouldn't be funny. It's that moment when a song you forgot about comes on, and for just 3 minutes, you remember who you used to be. It's a text from like an old friend you thought you lost. And happiness is, it's finally getting things like your laundry done after putting it off for way too long. Those are the moments we overlook. And maybe if we stop waiting for happiness to show up with like flashing lights and a grand entrance, we can actually feel it more often. So again, for me, those are some of the I guess smaller moments in life that are bringing me happiness. I mean, listening to my 8-year-old son laugh about one of the dumbest things he sees on YouTube, it cracks me up, and I feel happy. And obviously, I'm happier when I'm with him. But that's a whole other story. So, all right, let's start to wrap this up with one of, in my opinion, the more dangerous things, a little self-diagnosis. Is this depression or sadness, or is this just a midlife crisis? If you're wondering whether you're in a full-blown midlife crisis, here's going to be just a few signs to look out for. let's say okay, so you've considered getting a sports car or a motorcycle, but you turn around and settle for a really nice coffee maker instead. You have multiple dating app profiles, but no real desire to actually date. You suddenly care about skincare because you've started noticing some new changes. You find yourself Googling things like how to start over in your 40s, or maybe best cities to disappear in. I might have done that one in the past. Also, here's another one. You have a gym membership at one of the best gyms in your area. Or maybe it's the worst gym, I don't know. But you never use it. But just having that gym membership, it makes you feel better just knowing that it exists. If you checked, I don't know, at least 3 of those, yay! Congrats. You're officially a member of the club. The membership includes existential dread and occasional spontaneous purchases that don't actually fix anything. Kind of sad. When I wrote that down, sounded good, but when I say it out loud, it's kind of sad. So, again, is happiness even possible? I think so. But here's what I really think. It's not a permanent state. It's not something you find one day and just keep it forever. It comes in small moments, and sometimes you actually have to work really hard to notice them. It's like a lot of things in life. You actually have to work. Like when your favorite song comes on at just the right moment, or when your coffee is actually the perfect temperature. Some of y'all can like make the coffee, it's done, last drop hits, and you're drinking it. I don't know how you guys do that. I gotta let it sit and cool down for a bit. Or how about when you make someone laugh? I love making people laugh, even if it's yourself. I'll say some crazy things sometimes, and I just start cracking up. Maybe happiness isn't some grand finish line, some graduation ceremony. Maybe it's just a series of tiny, fleeting moments. And maybe, just maybe, those moments are enough. And if not, well, there's always ice cream, right? So, all right. That's enough soul searching for one episode. Now, if you liked this one, let me know, please. If you didn't, well, you're still here, right? So that's something. But no, seriously. If you like this episode or any of my older ones, please follow the podcast. If you're listening to this on my YouTube channel, subscribe, give me a follow, write a comment, and there's other ways to support. I've got my Patreon. That would be beautiful if you guys would jump over to that. It's Bowers Inc. I'll try to put a link in my description, but you just go to Patreon, search B as in boy, OWERS INK, Bowers Inc., and that'll take you to my Patreon page. And because, again, I have no clue what I'm doing, I'm slowly but surely learning and adding things to make it actually worth subscribing to. So, but I tell you what, again, that's kind of enough soul searching and rambling by me, and I will catch you guys next time. Thanks so much for listening.
That kind of wraps up this episode of Real Talkin' Fiction. If you enjoyed today's discussion, make sure to follow the podcast, please, so you never miss an episode. And if something resonated with you, share it. Share it with a friend. It helps me more than you guys know. If you'd like to support the show and my writing, you can always join me on Patreon. For honest, I'm thinking I believe as little as $1 a month. Your support's going to help me keep creating, and in return, you guys are going to receive exclusive updates, behind the scenes content, as well as early access to some new projects. So, check it out. Just head on over to Patreon, search Edward. Search Bowers Inc. B as in boy, Owers Ink. And you should be able to find me there. Also, I think somewhere on this podcast, possibly on the YouTube channel, I've got the links shared there. And if you love a good thriller, don't forget to check out my books. They're available on Amazon. All right, just search Edward Bowers in the search bar, and it should pull up everything I've written and published. You can also find all the details at my website, which is edwardbowersofficial.com. It's kind of a basic website, but I'm working on it. Okay, bear with me. But thanks for tuning in, y'all. Just stay real. Keep turning the pages of your own story. And I'll see you guys next time, all right?